Hello everyone, it's Tammy Wilgenbush with Card Designs by Tammy. Today I'm going to be making a card using the New Horizon suite that is part of the January through June 2022 mini catalog, so the active mini catalog. And it is a really nice suite. At first look, I wasn't all that excited about it, but it makes really pretty cards. And so the suite itself includes the On Horizon stamp set and Horizon dies that are sold in a discounted bundle. It also includes a cotton ribbon combo. So this is a really pretty ribbon. There's one in Petal Pink and Misty Moonlight. And it's very thin and easy to work with. Just really pretty. I've been using this for a lot of different projects. It also has these really fun pebble enamel shapes in cinnamon cider dark gray and a light gray color. So I pretty much have used these on most of the cards, and they just add a really fun element to it. And then, of course, some wonderful designer series paper. So let me show you some of the products a little bit more. Here is the On the Horizon stamp set. And it is a cling set and includes several different fun stamps and sentiments, thinking of you, thanks for everything, breathe, relax, and enjoy your day, and wishing you so much happiness. And one of my favorites, I really use these two images a lot, as well as the birds. It's so funny sometimes how just the smallest little thing can just make such a big difference in cards, and I will say those birds really do. So then we have the dies, and my favorite one of the dies is this very cool fence. And let me show you what those look like. And this is what they look like punched out, and you'll see in the cards they just make such really fun aspects to the cards. Now, one thing that I did when punching or when die cutting the fence is, you may notice that there's some kind of almost a wood grain look. And so what I did, I think Stampin' Up has different kinds of paper, and you could cut it out with with designer series paper. But what I did is I just took this image here, which coordinates with this die, and so you can stamp it and print it out, and you will notice that it kind of looks like that wood grain. So what I did is I just took this and stamped a scrap piece of white paper kind of all over it, and then I just die cut it, and it kind of gave this really fun. And this one is in Smoky Slate. I also did it in Crumb Cake. They both worked really well. But yeah, I thought it was something really nice. I think, just using them white just seemed a little bit too blah. But just that little small thing really made a big difference. And I also did it when I cut out, and I haven't used these in a card yet, but this die kind of looks like a row of houses in the back. And so I did the same thing and cut it out of that same paper to, again, give the houses just some sort of texture. So those are those two dies. Then we just have some fun grass, and I cut this out of one of the designer series paper. So again, it's nice because it then gives a little bit more texture like grass. And then we have this fun die here, which looks like kind of a rows of trees. And again, I did that same thing, cutting it out in designer series paper. And then we have the fun mountain, and we have a solid mountain, and then there is accents over it. And so I have already kind of put it together, but I die cut this piece in the Misty Moonlight, and then the accent piece here in basic white, and then layered them together. I've seen a lot of people that have also done the background in white and kind of have white on white, but still gives it some texture with kind of those snow-capped mountains. So that's a really pretty one too. And then we have these last two here, which I haven't used at all. I did cut this one out, and I've seen somebody use this to kind of stamp a sentiment on, but I haven't used those yet. But I have used all of the others and cut all of those out. So again, a really nice fun set of dies, but for me, the star are these fences. They're just really fun. So then we have the designer series paper, and the designer series paper for this, the New Horizons paper is what it's called. And it is 6 by 6, and so it comes in 12 sheets, 4 sheets of each design. And again, you can already see that they really kind of structured it, and you can really get some backgrounds and some different layouts and really pretty. And then usually most of these, one sheet, you can kind of see kind of the image of a layout or a background or a scene, and sometimes the other is just kind of more of a solid. So here's another one. And again, you can just imagine the scenes there and the outdoors in these. This one isn't quite as much of a scene, but definitely adding some of those elements, you could definitely make it a scene. This one is really pretty and definitely kind of has that scenic look. You almost wouldn't have to do too much on this at all. That's the nice thing with these paper. You'll kind of see with the elements in the paper, mostly what I have done is stamped the elements right on the paper to kind of create that scene. And that is really fun. You don't always get to do that, where you get to take designer series paper and actually stamp on it. And then this one's just kind of, you know, a bunch of different colors. So very pretty paper. And here again, you can almost see snow-capped mountains there, or even like a village kind of in the background. So, and again, kind of a field look. So just lots of really fun, you know, sceneries with lakes and skies, and then just really pretty muted paper. So that is the paper. Again, just very pretty. So here are some of the cards that I've made so far, and then we'll make one together. I made, using the same format, I made kind of a series of cards here, where basically I took one of the designer series paper and I cut it 3 by 3, and then I have a black background, and then I also have a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I used basic black for the card base, and just kind of have created a bunch of different scenes there. So you can see where I used the mountain on that one, just did some stamping, and again, just some stamping in the background. So just a really nice, these cards here, I wanted something that was quick and clean, but very pretty, and this paper just really works well for that. Now, some of the other cards that I've made that are a little bit more in depth here. So here's one that I made that I stamped the trees in the background and then put the die cut trees there. And again, just stamp the trees on the inside. Here's one where I used that really fun paper. And again, you can see just the pebbles just add a little bit extra with the fence and the grass. So again, just so easy to make these different scenes there. They just all go together so easily. And again, they're all very similar because, you know, again, I kind of tried to stamp, usually it's the trees along the background. You put some birds up in the air, and then kind of in the foreground, I've used a lot of the fences and then just stamped the leaves with the pebbles. So here I've used the mountain as kind of that background. And this one also uses a mountain in the background. So again, they're very simple, quick cards, but really, really beautiful with that designer series paper. So those are some of the cards that I made with it. And today we're going to make this card here. So I'll kind of show you how it all goes together and how you can kind of create some of those scenes. So for this card, I have an old olive card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.5. And we're going to have it going this way. And then get all my pieces here. I have a piece of Evening Evergreen, which is, I believe it is 4 by 5.25, and this is slightly smaller. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, so 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So those are those measurements, and that's really all the measurements that there are. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on just to get it on there, so it kind of helps me minimize all the pieces I have around my workspace, and then we can have the fun of getting busy stamping. I think my glue's running out again. I got a backup just in case because I felt it was running a little bit low earlier. Alrighty, let me get this on here. There we go. And so let's see. So I'm going to be using Old Olive and Evening Evergreen along with Memento Black for the birds. So let's do the background first. So I'm going to take this here, and we're just going to stamp it, and I'm going to kind of do it kind of back along this horizon here. And one thing I will say with this stamp here is I have to be careful because for some reason sometimes, and I don't know if you can see it right there, I don't leave it down far enough and the ink doesn't transfer all the way. So I'm going to try to be very careful to make sure to hold it good, press down good, and get all that ink to transfer. It's being a little bit better than it was before. Okay, and we will do one more. Kind of off to the side here. Perfect. And while I have this out, I am going to stamp the inside of the card. There we go. And the envelope. Perfect. Okay, so we have that one done. And let's see. So now we're going to, goodness, I got things all over. Okay. We are going to do the grass. And so I'm going to stamp the grass kind of just up here a little bit. And maybe I should have stamped it before I put it on the paper, but oh well. That's okay. So I'm going to try to get this kind of just down along the bottom. And I'm just going to do the one. So I'm going to take the time to clean my stamps. I always like to clean them right after so that I don't have to worry about mixing them up or forgetting about it. So I always use my Simply Chamois. I think Simple Chamois works wonders. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp along the top, and I am done with my old olive. And I'm going to stamp Thinking of You. I'm going to stamp it in the Evening Evergreen. Just kind of over here in the sky. And then I'm going to put the Evening Evergreen away too. And I'm going to get my birds and my black ink. And stamp the birds right up over here. So again, you can see just how that small little birds make such a big difference on the card. I forgot to clean off my words here. There we go. All right. So now, really all there is to assemble. And I'm going to, and I always like to lay things out a little bit first. So I'm trying to think if I want the grass to go over. I had it going under before, but I think I'm going to have it going over the fence. So I will glue the fence down next. And one thing that I did is kind of fold it a little bit. It kind of gives a little bit of shape then. And then I only put glue on the two ends. And that helps, I think, give it a little bit, again, just a little bit of dimension. So it's not totally flat against the card. And again, it may not be anything that people notice too much, but I notice it, and I think that it just adds a little bit, again, extra, so you can kind of see how the fence is bowed a little bit. But again, it doesn't add any bulk because it's just paper, so. And I'm going to kind of do the same to this one. And just add some glue on it. Okay. Okay. There. All right, and so then I'm going to glue this on right here. And again, I'm just going to put some glue along the bottom. And I am going to try to tuck part of it underneath that fence there. All right, come on. There we go. So it's just kind of under and over a little bit. So it's kind of over on the outside, but kind of tucks underneath that fence right there. So there. So actually, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and glue these on now. So again, I told you this is these cards. The nice thing about this paper and these scenes is they're really easy to do. They just go together so quickly. And that designer series paper just adds so much to that scenery background that they almost create themselves. So I was really impressed with it. Again, when I first saw the entire suite, I wasn't that sure of it, and it's really nice because honestly they make nice masculine cards as well, which is something that I know I always struggle with, you know, finding those stamp sets that are a little bit more neutral and a little bit more masculine, especially for me because I tend to like a lot of floweries and pinks and things like that. And so always want to, oh goodness, I'm just getting glue all over my fingers today. Okay. So there we go. Just glue that in there. All right, and I need to wipe off my fingers because I just got glue all over. I don't know if that, I'm assuming that happens to everybody at some point. So then we're going to add some of these fun pebbles. And let's see. Yeah, let's do. And let's get one there, and then we're going to put a few over here. Let's do a dark gray and a cinnamon cider. Oops. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. So perfect. So there's the card. So quick and so easy, goes together so well. The last thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue some designer series paper to the flap of this envelope. I've been really liking to do that lately. I find that I tend to hoard my designer series paper, so I'm trying to use it a little bit more and kind of completing the stationery set with paper on the flap just is really, just adds kind of that extra. So, and again, it's just really easy to glue on and trim. And I have been using these envelopes for a while, and so basically I know that the flap is 2 1/8 inches. So I just cut the paper to 2 1/8 inches, and then I just have to trim the sides. Let me get my large scissors here for that. And get that. And there we go. So, nice, fun, easy card. So you can see how you can make some just gorgeous scenery cards with this On Her New Horizons suite and the On Horizon stamp set and dies. But really, it's this designer series paper, and it's so pretty, and again, just so easy to make these really fun, just fun designs and scenes and everything. And again, then you can make even small pieces of it. Just let you make such fun images. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, consider this New Horizons bundle if you haven't already. It is a really fun bundle. And again, the mini catalog goes through June. One thing that is happening now with Stampin' Up, I know it seems a little bit early, but the annual catalog goes from May till April. So they're already preparing for the annual 2022-2023 catalog, which will come out, I believe it's May 3rd of this year. But what they have going on now in order to prepare for the catalog, as always, they're always coming out with new products, and fortunately or unfortunately, that means that old products have to be, retired. And so they have come out with a last chance product list. And with all of the items in the annual catalog that will not be carried over, and this is going on now. And some things aren't on sale, but some things, like they have some dies that are 50% off. So it's definitely worth, you can go to, if you're my customer, I put my website below, and you can go and they'll have the last chance products from the 2021-2022 annual catalog. So all the fun things you can get. A lot of stamp sets are retiring, and sometimes a lot of the bundles are retiring. Even if they keep the stamp set and dies, they retire bundles, because every catalog they come out with new bundle savings, essentially. So they have paired items. So they, of course, most of the dies have coordinating stamp sets, but they get a select few where they actually do a bundled 10% savings. And so a lot of those are retiring, even if they're keeping the stamp set. So definitely worth going and checking out. And again, that sale is going on right now. So very good idea to go. They've come out with the new in color, so definitely go over to my website and check it out. And please hit that subscribe button, and if I can do anything, contact me. Thank you very much for watching.